UAP are airborne objects that, when encountered, cannot be immediately identified. With regard to the importance of transparency, the Department is fully committed to the principle of openness and accountability to the American people.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Oh my gosh, dude.
U.S. Navy personnel recorded what appears to be triangles, some flashing. The video was taken through night vision goggles with a single lens reflex camera.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty high-profile incident. I don't claim to be an expert. You're the guys investigating it. I mean, who else is doing it?
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is UFO We Want to Know. Before I begin the show, as I always do, this is dedicated to those who have been ridiculed, made fun of, and dragged through the media for the last 76 plus years. Today's topic, or at least the first segment, is going to be about USOs. Now, I know very little about USOs because I've never caught one going in or out of the water. But there's an old saying, if you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. Now, I searched the internet and I couldn't find the originator to that, but a lot of people have said that over the years. And I think this has a lot to do with the government cover-up of UFOs, spreading continued lies about things that we know happened, but they're claiming they didn't happen. So by perpetuating that lie, it made people feel uncomfortable over the years. That's the reason why I always make the comment in the beginning of my show about being ridiculed. And I think that's so important. But I've got 14 photos to show you for the first segment, so let's go on to the first one. As you can, I put this up here for a reason. The background is blurry, and the reason why is because you're going to see some blurry pictures in this segment, but it's very important for you to understand the optics of submarines are capable of long distances, and I'll go through that as we go through the first segment here. But this is a supposable incident that happened in 1971. A U.S. submarine apparently took these photos of UFOs, and the truth is still out there. Whether or not you are a believer in these photos or not, that is up to you. I leave everything up to you at all times. I don't say it is the law of the land. We are a democracy, and I don't like pushing things on people who may or may not believe it's true. Next photo. Part of the images you're seeing were taken from a periscope, and this craft was coming out of the water. Now, over the years, I've said that when these craft go into the waters or come out, they don't make a splash or they don't make an exit, a plume. Whether or not this is a plume coming out of the ocean or it is electromagnetic charge charging up as they're leaving the ocean, I don't know. Again, I leave it up to you. Next photo. Another photo from it. Now, in some cases, they're saying that not all these photos were from the same incident, and I'm just picking the photos that I found that were clear on the internet, as clear as I can get them. I did remaster them as best I could, and this is what I got. But supposedly, these are photos taken from periscope level submarine shots. Next photo. Rather large one coming out of the ocean there. And as you can see, this one here seemed to be a lot closer than the previous ones, but nonetheless, supposedly coming out of the ocean. Okay, and I say supposedly because I wasn't there. I didn't take the pictures, and I read quite a few articles about this. Matter of fact, I spent at least 3 days reading article after article, and they come to the same conclusion that there was a worldwide debunking on this for years ago. And we're talking 1971 when these pictures were taken. So whether or not they succeeded in that debunking, these photos are still on the internet for you to see. Next photo. Elongated craft. This one here was really, really close up, but it was elongated craft. And as you can see from the picture, this was a very cigar-shaped, luminous object. This photo is a little bit closer than I would want it to. We didn't shrink it down a little bit, but it's okay. Next photo. This shows you, of course, the periscope lines. And I had to clear this up quite a bit because it was giving me a lot of problems trying to show it on television. But you've seen this before. I've seen it on television years and years ago when it first came out. I understand that a lot of these photos were taken off the internet at one time and then it was reposted. Maybe the government got tired of people reposting them. Once they're down, posted on the internet, it's kind of hard for the government to take them off, or say YouTube or Roku, whoever's being told to take them down. It's kind of hard to do it because there's so many people that have these photos already, and they're going to keep putting them up there, and that's what people do. Next photo. The type of lens is used in the periscope is the plane mirror. And now when we were little, we used to play with mirrors, and we used to actually do this to see over the wall. It was quite common for kids to play with mirrors to be able to look over the wall, and it's the same principle. When you're below a wall, you put a mirror above your head and you point it over the wall, you can actually see what's on the other side. Well, that's essentially what we're talking about here, a plane's mirror. Next photo. Again, another craft. Now, in some of the photos, you notice a lot of them are quite blurry, and I'm going to get to some clear ones. I'm going to show you what pictures that they actually took on periscopes that are real proven photos. Next photo. Again, it's semi-blurry, but then again, when we take pictures of UFOs, what do you get? You get a blurry photo. Now, in this next photo, you're going to actually see a photo of a ship. Next photo, and look how clear that is. You can see the measurements from the scope here, but we're talking a recent photo. This is not a 1971 picture. This is a recent photo here, but it gives you an idea of what these periscopes on these submarines can actually see. Next photo. Pretty clear picture of an airplane, right? The ocean is very clear. And then let's go to the next photo. This is a actual Russian torpedo. This is the Russian VA-111 supercavitating torpedo, which goes 230 miles per hour. And the reason why I brought this up is because of the fact that a few years ago, American sonars were tracking this device underwater, and it was a torpedo going quite fast. In some cases, they were saying it was going 600 miles an hour. In one case, it said 1,000 miles an hour. But here's the interesting part about it. The torpedo, which they thought it was at the time, it split apart in 3 different pieces and went 6 different pieces and went in 6 different directions. So it wasn't a torpedo. If it was a torpedo, it would have exploded when it came apart. There was no explosion. It just left in 6 different directions. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a USO. Next photo. The sonars are basically so powerful that a lot of the sonars we use today are very, very high tech, even for human standards. And the Thales 2076 sonar on the A2 class submarines has 13,000 hydrophones and possesses a power of 60,000 PCs. That's how powerful and that's how much optics are on these new devices we have on our sonars. They're very, very high tech. I say high tech in human terms because that's about as good as we're going to get. I'm sure that the alien crafts don't use sonar. They don't use radar. They have their own mechanisms, and I'm sure they're quite more advanced than what we used. The USOs that are submerged in our oceans, and quite a few of them are off the California coast, the Catalina Islands. They have been looked at through many different types of optics that have caught USOs going in and out of the Southern California area. And for years and years, the military has been saying, well, they're looking at whales, sharks, or other sea creatures that interfere with the sonars. And that's what they're going to say. Next photo. Now, this is of course, the Baltic Sea anomaly. And if any of you ever heard of this or seen this, this is on the bottom of the Baltic Sea, and it was shaped oddly like the craft of one of these shows that you see on TV, quite similar to it. But they still haven't been able to get any real information on it. I know some of them, the divers have taken parts of this ship back up. They've actually chiseled some off, and they're coming to the conclusion this may have been a regular anomaly on the floor of the ocean. Although there was a track that this whatever it was left under the ocean. It made I believe it was something like a 400-foot gash, and that's where it ended up. So whether this happened thousands and thousands of years ago, who knows? But this is the last photo I have for this segment, but I wanted to include that in there because I had a couple of people ask me about it, and I don't know really a lot about it, but you can read it on the internet. There are some updated information on it, and a lot of the people who are studying this particular anomaly claim that it's probably a UFO that's probably thousands of years ago. So let us know what you think it is. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Joseph, the host and creator of UFO We Want to Know. Tune in every Saturday evening on KPVM Pahrump Channel 25.1 from 7 p.m. You'll see never-before-viewed videos and photos taken by myself, all over the world.
Thank you for watching. UFO We Want to Know, and remember, yes, they are out there.
Thank you and welcome back. On the second segment here, we have 16 photos to show you. So let's start showing the first photo. And as you can see, I got an arrow down here at the bottom of the screen, near the bottom left of the screen. That's where this UFO appeared. And as we go through these photos, you're gonna see, how did you catch this, first of all? Well, again, I told you in past videos how I look and I search through the photos themselves. On this particular case here, when I look at the mountains, I zoom in on the mountains because sometimes these UFOs are below the mountain line and you can actually catch them. But this one here was pretty close. It popped up. Next photo. Close up of it, give you an idea. It is there. Next photo. Closer up. As you can start seeing, this is not a bird. Matter of fact, this was taking southwest. This is actually in my front yard. I take pictures of this mountain range all the time. Next photo. Even closer of it. I'm starting to get some light around it, or some kind of flux, and whatever it may be, it is definitely around the craft itself. Next photo. Now as you zero in, you start to see some color to it. And I don't believe it was from my software because I didn't change the software. I kept zooming in and remastering it, zooming in, remastering it. And the final photo on this is a blow-up of it. Quite unusual, but not a bird. Not in every sense of the word, it's not a bird. This craft was flying from the west to the east, and it was going pretty fast, because out of the 5 photos I took, and I take 5 of the exact same photos in the same area, it only came out in 1. I kept looking at the other ones and trying to figure out why it didn't show up twice. Maybe it ducked down into the mountain range. I don't know. Like I said, I only got 1 photo, so that's the best I could do with that. But nonetheless, it could be the speed it's going that's giving off this odd look. Who knows? Let's go on to the next photo. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joseph, you're taking pictures of jet aircraft. You're taking pictures of planes going supersonic, okay? Here's my problems with a lot of this. If they're going supersonic, I'm going to hear a sonic boom. Now, it is true that over in Pahrump itself, the city of Pahrump, we've been hearing people talk about hearing loud explosions, booms. Nobody said there's sonic booms, they're just saying booms. Whatever they're hearing could be these craft. Now, this craft right here is not flying over Pahrump. I can guarantee you that. It's pretty far away, and it's really far up there. Next photo. As we zoom into it, though, I took a clear shot using my tripod. Wasn't shaking, very, very solid picture. Next photo. As we get closer in, I don't know how I'm taking a picture of an airplane, because even airplanes that are flying far, far away, I can still see either a tail or a fuselage. I'm not getting that here. And that's what I try to tell people. I don't know what I'm capturing. If it is a reverse engineered craft, or if it is an alien craft flying really high in the atmosphere, far away, flying very fast, it could be leaving a cold chemtrail. Okay, not a chemtrail like we think of leaving chemicals in the air, but the cold air that is going through when it's traveling through our atmosphere. Next photo. Close-up of it. I don't see how I'm seeing a fuselage here. I'm not seeing an airplane shape. And I did take this from my front yard facing west. Excuse me, I'm sorry, facing north. I should say northwest towards, I would say, the San Francisco area. I was facing towards that area. So how fast it was going, maybe Vandenberg Air Force Base in that general area. But this was flying over there. And the last photo, a large up of it. Please write in, let me know at UFOWeWantToKnow@gmail.com. Give me an idea of what I'm looking at here, because I've had so many people tell me, Joseph, those are airplanes. Joseph, those are jet airliners. Joseph, those are X-jets that are flying in our atmosphere. You know, if that's true, why do they fly them where we can actually take pictures of them? I think that negates anything that the government wants to do if they're trying to fly a high-flying experimental craft. That's not how you do it. This looks like a UFO, and it has a surrounding film around it. Take a look at that leading edge. It was going from right to left. Look at that leading edge here. It gives you something of a spike, and then the back, it's more flat. So you can actually see, just by looking at it, you can tell, if I just took this picture, you can tell it was going from right to left. And look at the solid mass in the center. Now, in next week's video, I'm going to show you something that I took. I've only seen 3 to 4 actual UFOs in my life that I've actually seen with my naked eye, and that I videotaped. Saturday at the Tractor Supply, we had the farmer's market, and I was videotaping an object in the sky. A gentleman came up from behind, and he asked me, he actually told me he had caught my show, and I asked him, would you take a look and see what's up there and see if you're seeing something? And he said, yeah. Is that an airplane? And I said, well, it's been there for 5 minutes. So he stood there for about 10 minutes with me. It didn't move. I took a lot of pictures and one video of it, and it was a UFO, and I'll be showing that in an upcoming video. Next photo. This is an interesting one here. I got two two UFOs flying together. Now, these were not birds, and I can guarantee that because when we get to the last photo, you'll be able to see for yourself. But take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's far away. I'm showing the arrow, so let's go to the first photo. This is a close-up of it. And you can see the UFOs together, very far away. Now, the DoD has just released some information on this new development. It's called the Gremlin. And it has a capability of collecting real-time well, I'm not going to say that word, but it's their acronym, UFO data, okay? This is also, Arrow is going to be looking at this data since they have over 850 photos and videos to look at, and they still haven't come to a conclusion. Maybe the new acting director, his name is Tim Phillips, maybe he'll be a little more open than the last director and start talking about what they're seeing and give you a little more idea of the gist of UFOs and them in our atmosphere. I highly doubt it, but let's give him a chance. Next photo. More close-up of it. The bottom one kind of gives you the shape of the iconic UFO, kind of like diving. He wasn't diving, but it looks like he's going down. He's not. These were going from right to left on the screen. And I just took photos of them. There was no video of this, and I'm really sorry I didn't. On a video in the next couple of segments, you're going to actually see two UFOs very similar to this, moving to the left. And I'm not really sure when I took them. I didn't look at the dates, but these may have been the two that I was taking, and they were just kept flying up and down the clouds because we had a lot of clouds that day, just after the rains. Next photo. Closer up of it. Kind of gives you an idea of the fact that these are not birds. And I hope the people who are studying the UFO anomalies in our skies, I hope they're looking at this. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which is ARROW, they are constantly putting out briefs saying that they still haven't found anything. They're looking at all surveillance tapes. They're looking at the capabilities of what this so-called gremlin system is going to be able to bring to the table. I think all they're doing is they're just wasting time, showing the people that hey, we're spending taxpayers' money in showing you real hard evidence here, and we're still not finding anything. The gremlin system that's coming up is being tested right now in Texas. They didn't say specifically where, but that's where they're starting to do the testing. Like I said, I think this is a delay tactic. They're finding ways to push back on the people that are coming out, especially the ones that came out on the congressional hearings and the whistleblower. They're really pushing back. They're really laying weight on them. And I feel bad for them because they had the courage to come out and say something. Now, remember the 39 so-called whistleblowers that were supposed to be coming out? Well, now the government is kind of backpedaling on it, and they're trying to get these people not to come out and say anything. National security is one thing, but the people have a right to know what's flying around in our airspace. And because the Air Force cannot protect us from these craft that are still flying around in our airspace, they pushed it off to the Navy. And the Navy is now in control of these the UFO anomalies that we're seeing. They're not doing any better job than the Air Force. The Air Force, for 75 years, lied. And now the Navy, which adds on to another year, that's why I say in the beginning, 76 plus years, the Navy is just adding on to what the Air Force had been doing for the 75 years prior. I don't think we're going to get anywhere with this. To be honest with you, I think they're going to keep blowing smoke in our face, and until we get some real people in Congress that can stand up to these people who are taking taxpayers' dollars and spending them the way they want to spend them, we're not going to get any answers. And the last photo on this, it's a blow-up of it. As you can see, these were not birds. These were two UFOs flying together in our atmosphere. Again, in our atmosphere. They can say what they want to say about what I say on my show, but I'm going to stick to the guns. These are in our atmosphere. They're flying around with passenger jets or Air Force jets. They fly right next to them. They fly against them. Some of them scare the daylights out of the pilots. I was listening to a lot of audio of pilots yelling into the microphone at the air traffic controller saying something just flew over our heads going fast. But that's all I could say about that. We'll be back after this message.
Hi, I'm Joseph, the host and creator of UFO We Want to Know. Tune in every Saturday evening on KPVM Pahrump channel 25.1 from 7 p.m. You'll see never-before-viewed videos and photos taken by myself, all over the world.
Thank you for watching. UFO, we want to know and remember, yes, they are out there.
Thank you for staying with us for the next segment. We have 2 videos and 14 photos to show you. So let's start off with a video. And here we circled the actual area. I meant the photo, I'm sorry, not video, but I want to show you the first 5 photos. And this particular UFO was caught coming out of the clouds. When I took these photos, I have about 6 photos very close to this one here, and only one of them, it actually showed visibility. It evidently was going in and out of the clouds when I was taking these pictures. Again, I took 6 pictures, and it was only visible in one. Now, I know it came out of the cloud because when I was looking at the magnification on some of the other photos, like this one here, you can almost see it visible. So I just got rid of those, and I got the one that you can actually see coming out. And let's go to the next photo on it. That's what I was looking at in the photo. And it seemed to, as I said, go in and out of the clouds for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it was stationary and the clouds were moving, or vice versa. Next photo. Close-up of it. And you're going to notice something about this UFO as we get to the end. There's 2 more photos here, but you're going to see something. What I did was, using the software, I used my master remastering it, and then I kind of left the background to itself. I didn't change it. I didn't make it darker or make it lighter. So let's go to the next photo. And you're going to start to see 4 different sections. And it's illuminated behind it. But it's kind of a neat UFO. The last one of it. And that's what materialized. That was, to me, I felt this was kind of interesting because whatever it was doing in the cloud, it seemed to rotate. The ones that I barely saw seemed to have this UFO kind of I don't know how to explain it, but it was kind of like vibrating from the other photos. Maybe that's why I didn't catch it on the lens, but maybe on this particular photo it was standing still enough to get this image. But I thought that was kind of neat. I have captured this UFO before, where it looks like 4 connecting dots. I have captured it before, and I do have it in other photos, but when I first saw this, I kept saying, well, I think it's kind of messed up, but since I went back in my database and I found other ones very, very similar to this that I took in Puerto Rico, and so who knows if it's the same craft or not. Next, let's go to the first video. And as you can see, we got an arrow down there. This craft was quite fast. We did slow this one down quite a bit, so you can see how far up it goes. Now, when it gets close to the sun, you can see it illuminates even more. and it starts to make some jagged movements, right, left, all the way up. We'll play this a few times, but it started down there where the arrow is at, and I wanted to play the full video. This is a super slow motion, and we had to slow it down. In the upcoming video, we're going to show you this UFO that was taken super slow motion, and we had to slow it down 90%. We slowed this one down, I believe, 30–40%, but we wanted you to be able to see how this UFO moves within our atmosphere here. I think this is extremely interesting. I usually don't get one that goes that long, and that's why I wanted to show this. From the arrow to when you start seeing it creeping up, it was going really fast, and that's why we had to slow it down, or this would have been just a real fast zip. This would have probably left the screen within maybe a split second. So by slowing it down, you're able to capture the UFO and actually see how it travels. This is clearly not one of ours. We usually leave some kind of chemtrail. This is not. After the loop, we can go ahead and go to the first photo, and that's where I took the stop motion photo of it. I wanted to do it when it's at its brightest, and I found this is the picture to do it on. Next photo. A little closer of it, it gives you an idea of what you were looking at as it was traveling through our atmosphere. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. When you see these things climbing like that, it wasn't going straight up in the air. When I'm taking it at a 90-degree angle, so it's going like a jet aircraft would go. If you see a jet aircraft going down or up, it's not going in outer space or down to the ground. It's traveling from side to side. It's just the optics of the photo. Next photo. As you can see, it's a very, very sharp background. I did darken the background so you get a better idea of what this the shape looked like. Now, if I was to take, say, 4 or 5 pictures of this as it was traveling through the atmosphere, I would get a different shape than what you're seeing here now. And the last photo. Quite interesting UFO for the NASA engineers and all scientists out there. Yes, this is a UFO. It is not. It's not an anomaly on my phone. It's a true UFO. We had lately on the news. You've been hearing a lot about Buzz Aldrin, who landed on the moon with Neil Armstrong. He's doing some interviews. I believe that when people get to a certain age and they feel that they don't have long to live on Earth, they say what they want to say. And he gave some information about the moon. And one of his quotes was, on the moon, we were ordered by aliens to move away. Move away. Isn't that interesting? If you were listening to those same posts from that same organization that was putting out things about Buzz Aldrin, they were claiming that he was saying that they never went to the moon. Those were all lies, perpetuated by who knows. But I think he should sue those people for claiming that. But he is saying now things that 20, 30 years ago he wouldn't say. And I'm sure NASA had a big hold on him. But interesting statements. You can catch that on the internet. If you're interested, look up recent Buzz Aldrin's statements. Take a look and see for yourself if you don't believe me. Let's go to the next video. Now, here's one that I was talking about, these UFOs that are paralleling our craft. What you're seeing, that streak down there, that is actual one of our jets flying through the atmosphere. It's very hard. You're going to see an arrow there, but it was in a very fast instant. This thing was going very fast. But what it did was it followed that jet, that aircraft, whatever it was, if it was Air Force or whatever it was that was leaving the street, it was following it, paralleling it. And I just caught a very fast blink, and if you can't see it in the video very good, it's just a very, very quick flash. But so let's go to the first photo and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. I circled it, and just to let you know, that is a craft flying, a jet aircraft flying, and the UFO was right there, and it was following it. Now, the reason why I know it was following it, because I got another picture of this, and that UFO was in front of the leading edge of that jet aircraft. On the and that's as far as I got. And that was a split second apart. When I took the pictures, I took 5 pictures, and it only came out in 2. The first one was this one here, and the second one was just in front of the jet aircraft, or whatever craft that was. And so I know that it was going from the top to bottom, and so it was following it. Next photo. And of course, as I always do, I zero in on the object. Next photo. A little blurry there, so I started using the remastering program that I have, and the best I could do with this one here, you can actually see it from here. You can see a white dot in the center of this craft. So let's go to the next photo, and you can actually see there's a mass there. It's a little bit darker than the rest. I believe that the darker light area, I believe that's the craft, and the fuzz is just the illumination of whatever is exhausting through its flight pattern, whether it be electromagnetic charge, plasma, who knows. But I believe the dark white area is the actual craft. And the last photo of this, it's a blow-up of it, and you can see what I mean when I say that I believe that dark area is the craft, and everything else is just illuminating. When I take these pictures here, believe it or not, I get literally hundreds of these UFOs. In a lot of the videos that I show you, there's not just 1 or 2 in there. Sometimes there's as many as 5 or 6 UFOs flying around. But if I concentrated on one video, you would probably get a little tired of that, because there are so many of them. And these are craft. Make no mistake about it. These are alien craft flying around in our atmosphere. I'll keep saying that until the very end. But these craft here are wherever you're at in the world. You can take a picture, a video, whatever you want, and you're going to find UFOs in these images. When you download them, you're going to find them. I keep telling people, go out and take photos, take videos. I tell that to people that I meet at the Tractor Supply when I go there for the farmers site we have down there. I tell them all the time, take pictures. I'll take pictures with you. We'll do it together. Because I believe wholeheartedly that these UFOs are here visiting us. The one I caught this past Saturday, last Saturday, that UFO that was up there was not alone. I caught that one, and there was a flock to the left. And I kept looking at him, and I asked him, are those birds? And he said, they're not flapping. So I took pictures of them. Unfortunately, not videos, but I took pictures of them. And eventually they disappeared. And I'll be showing them, like I said, in upcoming videos. But they're showing themselves more and more to us. And I don't believe it's just me. I believe if people look up like I do all the time, and I am constantly looking up, you can find these UFOs yourself. We'll be back after this message.
Hi, I'm Joseph, the host and creator of UFO We Want to Know. Tune in every Saturday evening on KPVM Pahrump channel 25.1 from 7 p.m. You'll see never-before-viewed videos and photos taken by myself, all over the world.
Thank you for watching. UFO, we want to know and remember, yes, they are out there.
Okay, let's start out by apologizing. That farmer thing I was talking about was the farmer's market at Tractor Supply, and that's from 8:30 to 12 every Saturday, and I'm there. So if you ever want to come and talk to me and tell me how many times I mess up on television, that's fine. So let's. We got 3 videos and 16 photos, and I want to run through these as quick as I can. So first photo, a video, and you're looking at the left side, you see that dark area there, the clouds, the dark area? That's what you want to look at. There's 2 UFOs in that general area there. And what we want to do is we want to try and loop that a couple of times so you can actually see them flying from right to left. And one stays on the screen quite a bit. The other one just moved right off the screen. So let's play it one more time, then we'll move on. You see that thing just take off? And these weren't very close. These were far away. We had a lot of cloud cover that day. We had some rainstorms passing through, and these 2 UFOs were up there in the sky. These could have been the 2 that we were looking at in the previous segment. I'm not really sure. I have to look at the dates. That's my mistake. But these UFOs were flying in our atmosphere again. Keep saying that. Next photo. Gives you a better idea what they look like. These UFOs are all over Pahrump, Nevada, where I am located. And I catch them every single day. Every single day. Let's get the next photo. I'm going to concentrate on one of them specifically. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I did go back and I did concentrate on both of them, I'm just showing one. This is the one that was on the bottom. Next photo. Does that look like a bird to you? An airplane? A jet? A parachute? Next photo. That's the final photo of it, but let's get an idea, ladies and gentlemen, of what they're saying. They're saying that these craft are not flying in our atmosphere. These are not birds. Now, I did take 3 quick photos of the second one, the one that left the screen real fast. Let's look at that one. Okay, and then the next one. And of course, I zoomed in using my software, and this is what I got, the end results. Next photo. That's the one that flew off real fast on the top. And I thought that was quite interesting that they're flying in pairs. The last 3 videos that I'm showing you, there's 2 UFOs in each one. Let's go to the next video. As you can see, we have more UFOs. I don't believe we put an arrow on this one here because you can actually see the UFOs in the bottom. There was actually 3 UFOs at the very end. They're on the bottom of the sun, to the left, bottom of the sun, and you can see them just floating around there. Near the end of the 17 seconds, you can actually see a 3rd one come into view. You can see the tree there. There's a tree to your left. That's just going to show you the aiming point. This was at a 90-degree angle when I took this. And this was taken only 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Errol, where are you at? After this one, we'll go to the first photo. I really wish that the government would study these UFOs. I have thousands of them. As you can see, I'm showing the stills of those UFOs flying in the atmosphere. I did darken the background so you can see them a little more clear. Next photo. And I concentrated on one, of course. Go to the next photo. Close-up of it. And then the final analysis on this one. This is what was up there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's not the typical flying saucer you see or the cigar shape, but these are plentiful. They're all over. Now, whether or not they are probes or whatever they may be, we don't know, do we? We don't know. And until we get more clarity from the government or these watchdog groups that claim to be for the people, excuse me, and get more information out of them, we're never going to know. Let's go to the next video. Got an arrow where it started. Now, there was a couple of UFOs in this one also. And on this particular video, These UFOs were flying extremely fast. We had to slow them down quite a bit. Not like the last video I'm going to show you, but we had to slow it down quite a bit. Now you're wondering why you see a flash when you see the arrow and then a flash. This object actually started on the right side of the sun, and it illuminated before it left the area there. We slowed this video down 90%. Let me say that again. We took this in super slow motion, and then we slowed it down in the studio here at 90%. And that's why you see a flash. You couldn't see it. You see the little white dot, blue dot all the way to the right? That's a lens flare. That's where the UFO nearly started. The next flash I saw was on the left side of the sun, and that's where I took the stop motion, and you're about to see the photos. There was the first one that I'm going to show you was actually what it looked like on the right side. So let's go to that first photo after this loop. Okay, it was so dull that it was very hard for me to see. I spent over 2 hours on this video alone because I wanted to show you what I captured. Next photo, close up of it. Take a look at it. Doesn't it start to look like the iconic UFO, the saucer? Now, whether the saucer is flying upside down, sideways, upright, it keeps its shape. And I don't believe that the aliens are flip-flopping in these craft. I believe that the inertia that they're utilizing, and I'm sure that the inertia they're using is a lot different than what we as humans can comprehend. Next photo. If you're steering by their minds, if they're using their minds to steer this craft, I don't believe that there's an up and down, sideways. I don't believe there's pressure. I don't believe there's movement. I believe that it's a solid base type movement inside the craft. You can see some reverberation in the back, whether or not that's part of the craft or just what the software shows. Next photo and last. That's what this craft looked like. But it's neat that you can get a craft that you can barely see, and you can remaster the photo and bring it in, remaster it, bring it in, and you can get this to a conclusion that this was actually up there and flying. Now let's go ahead and go to the next photo, and that's on the left side. That's the flash you saw. And as you can see, it's a very bright blue that we're showing here, but this is what you saw. So let me show you what this one looked like. Next photo. Very, very dense in there, isn't it? Next photo. I'm trying to zoom in, and if you look closely as we get closer and closer to this, I've got 3 more photos to show you. You're gonna notice something here. Next photo. There's a little bit of interaction of what I think is plasma all around the craft. It's a dark shape around the craft. After the dark blue, it looks like it's giving off some electromagnetic charge out of it. You see those 3 specks to the right and bottom of it? Who knows? Let me know what you think at UFOWeWantToKnow@gmail.com. Next photo. No aerodynamics here. It was going from right to left. The flat part to the left is the leading edge. Again, they're not touching our atmosphere. But isn't that so interesting that they don't look at aerodynamics as something that is a major issue for them. I was looking at some of my database from the past, and in where I got the idea of they could fly a brick or a block through the atmosphere, I actually got a photograph in Mexico off of Los Negros Island, where I caught what looks like a square box flying in the atmosphere, very similar to this, but it was black in color, and it was very, very high in the atmosphere over Mexico, and it looks very similar to this. You see that bottom on the left, that little edge there? It looked just like this, but it was all dark. And the last image? shows a little bit of discolor inside of it, inside the craft, which is the possibility of maybe that's what the craft shape was, and then everything else is just electromagnetic charge or some kind of plasma charge or whatever it may be. Who knows? Someday we'll find out that it's none of those, and they're going to actually give us a correct name. I'm sure that our scientists at that time will be excited and start hooping around to know that there's more than just what they think there is to be known. There are discoveries every day. And that ends the UFOs. And I wanted to make some announcements here. As you can see from this flyer here, this is the craft festival that's coming up in Tivoli Village here, and I'll be there all day. It would be on March 17th, like I said, Sunday, tomorrow, from 10 to 4. There'll be 80 vendors and 8 food trucks there. And also for the family, the Easter Bunny will be there from 11 to 3. Come and take pictures. Bring the kids out. The tumbler lady will have over 300 tumblers, 75 mugs available for purchase. She'll also have the UFO We Want to Know product line there. So for those of you who would like to buy and help support my channel, go out there and say hello to me. Spend part of the day with me. Let's talk UFO. I am more than happy to sit there and take pictures with you. I have no problem with that. I was asked that last time, and I have no problem with that. But come out and enjoy the day with us, and we'll be there, like I said, tomorrow all day. And I want to thank you for staying with us, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joseph, the host and creator of UFO We Want to Know. Tune in every Saturday evening on KPVM Pahrump channel 25.1 from 7 p.m. You'll see never-before-viewed videos and photos taken by myself, all over the world.
Thank you for watching. UFO We Want to Know and remember, yes, they are out there.